This is so insane, such an insane lie from the Labour Party that I was momentarily lost for words when I found out about it. Yeah, I know, it must be bad. This episode, Scandal, exposes just how desperate and deceitful and rotten the Labour Party has become, because they have no principles or moral compass anymore, and this is what fills the vacuum. Now, as I speak, the good people of Gorton and Denton are braving Mancunian rain to vote in a by-election in a three-way battle between Labour, Reform and the Green Party. And on the eve of polling, a leaflet was delivered through local voters' doors. It bears the logo of an organisation supposedly called Tactical Choice and reads, "Vote Labour. Based on a new prediction published in the last 24 hours, we are recommending voting Labour." One small problem. No such organisation exists to even make such a recommendation. It's been completely invented. By who? Well, the leaflet, you see, says it's been promoted on behalf of Labour candidate Angelica Stoja. That is the Labour candidate in the Gorton and Denton by-election. In other words, the Labour Party has made up a fictional, non-existent, tactical voting organisation to deceive the people of Gorton and Denton into voting for them. How can this be legal? Where's the Electoral Commission? We'll talk more about this because it gets worse. The truth is, based on the polling, two real existing tactical voting organisations urged people to vote for the Green Party to stop Reform from winning. That's Tactical Vote and Stop the Tories. That's based on the polling. A polling by Omnisis last week found that 22% intended to vote for the Greens, 20% for Reform and 18% for Labour, with 27% undecided. If you took out undecided voters, that means 33% for the Greens, 29% Reform and 26% for Labour. But crucially, the polling suggested that undecided voters were leaning more towards the Greens. The polling showed that both all voters and undecided voters, if forced to choose between the Greens and Reform or Labour or Reform, were much more likely to go for the Greens. There's even more dirty tricks by Labour, which centres on another poll conducted by Opinion, which also showed the Greens ahead. It showed overall a dead heat, 28% for the Greens, 28% for Labour, 27% for Reform. But polling companies normally weight according to likelihood to vote. And among likely voters, the Greens were slightly ahead, on 30% with both Labour and Reform and 28%. But crucially, this polling also showed that the Greens were far more likely to benefit from tactical voting than Labour. So what did Labour then do? They published a graphic on their social media accounts which showed only Labour on 28% and Reform on 27%, erasing the Green Party altogether. Unbelievably dishonest, pathetic behaviour. Now back to the made-up tactical voting organisation. When I called out the massive scandal of Labour deceiving voters, a Labour MP named Oliver Ryan tweeted, "Politics is about compromise. Tactical voting doesn't always favour the party you're fanboying for, but it's the right thing to do. Vote Labour and keep Reform out. I'm glad Tactical Choice agree. Thumbs up." A couple of things here. He knows Tactical Choice doesn't exist. He's joking about what he knows to be his party's deceit, relishing it, revelling in it. Who is this MP, I hear you ask? Oliver Ryan was part of a scandal involving a WhatsApp group called Trigger Me Timbers, which involved members of the group, including Labour MPs and councillors, posting racist, anti-Semitic and discriminatory content, sexism and misogyny, as well as abusive attacks on members of the public. One of the members of this group was Andrew Gwynn. He was the MP for Gorton and Denton. He was sacked and suspended from the Labour Party over the scandal, not least because he had posted that he hoped a 72-year-old woman would soon be found dead after she wrote to a local council about bin collections, among other things. After months of being under investigation by parliamentary standards, he resigned as an MP, triggering the Gorton and Denton by-election. Now, Oliver Ryan was also suspended, issuing an apology in which he said comments of the group had been completely unacceptable. His suspension lifted a few months later. I guess what I'm saying is these are bad people. Just look at, this Labour MP here relishing the dishonesty of his own party. Now, amusingly, someone has set up a Twitter account pretending to be the made-up Tactical Choice, which has posted, "Labour have illegally falsified our copyrighted logo and brand to send entirely fake leaflets purporting to be from Tactical Choice and Gorton and Denton. We will be taking legal action. Do not vote Labour, vote Green." The Green Party leader, Zach Polanski, has written to Deputy Labour leader Lucy Powell about this scandal, saying this is deeply troubling. It is actually lying to voters. Did you approve it? Do you feel the Labour Party and government should be held to different standards in terms of honesty to the British public? He said this shows that Labour will employ any type of political deception, and then hilariously says, or in Urdu, "Dhokha," to win. That's funny because the Greens have been attacked by Labour for dog whistle politics, partly because they've got Urdu leaflets. Talk about that. But they've got this leaflet showing Keir Starmer palling around with Narendra Modi, the far-right leader of India, who was widely held responsible for the massacre of potentially thousands of Muslims during the Gujarat riots of 2002. The attacks have partly come because the Greens did these letters in Urdu, as though community outreach was a bad thing. In the United States, standard practice. Even Republicans do adverts in Spanish, for example. But what is wrong with Muslim voters being told about the Prime Minister palling around with someone linked to the murder of thousands of Muslims? I mean, just to make this point even more emphatically, in 2021, the Labour candidate in the Batley and Spend by-election, Kim Ledbetter, had a leaflet with the text, "Don't risk a Tory MP who's not on your side," alongside "The risk of voting for anyone but Labour is clear." And the picture? Boris Johnson palling around with, you guessed it, Narendra Modi. So why is it fine for Labour to do this, but outrageous dog whistle politics when the Greens do it? Here's another grim detail. Labour has accused the Greens of whipping up hatred among Muslim voters, with a cabinet minister quoting as saying the Greens are hammering us by deliberately raising the salience of Gaza. Sorry, why is it whipping up hatred among Muslims to note Labour's role in facilitating a genocide, the crime of crimes? The worst possible crime there is. If Labour did not want the salience of Gaza to be raised, they should have facilitated a genocide, should they? Why is it outrageous to hold Labour to account for their actual record? This is so contemptuous towards Muslim voters. And Green Party candidate Hannah Spencer rightly says it's disappointing to see Labour resort to racist dog whistles and the desperate claim that issuing campaign materials in languages other than English is whipping up hatred. Obviously, everything crossed that the Greens pulled through, despite not just Labour, but the entire media smearing them. Whatever happens, this has exposed what a deceitful, dirty party that Labour has become. They deserve to be politically defeated, and for the politics of hope to replace them. Please like and subscribe with your thoughts and your comments. Help us take on the dire media landscape in this country at patreon.com/OwnDes84. Press like, subscribe, leave your thoughts, your comments, share the video. I'll see you in a bit.